Hey everyone, welcome back to Adobe Live. My name is Anika and I'm your host today. This is the last day of the Adobe Express Bootcamp, and I'm so glad that you could join us because today is something special. You will learn how to grow your audience using Adobe Express. If you're a small business owner, if you're a content creator, or a graphic designer who's looking to expand your network or expand your content on social media, you might be able to help yourself using the stream. So if you're watching this live or on replay, leave a comment down below and I can answer all your questions. I have my eyes on the live chat, both on Behance and YouTube. So if you have any questions about what a remixable template is, how you can create one, I will show you all of that today. Before we dive into it though, I want to point to a very good handy resource that you might want to have, which is behance.net/challenge/express. So go to this link, and as you browse down, you will be able to unlock the challenges. And what that means is essentially watching the replays, getting your hands on all the information that we shared in the past week. So we had Andrew on day one telling you basics about Adobe Express. Then we had Liz talking about the branding, which was super cool to see. We're going to implement some of that today, maybe. Schedule your post using the content scheduler with Hadrian, and then we had Claudie using it Creative Cloud with Adobe Express. So I love that you have all of this information right here on this landing page. So go there, bookmark this, and find all the information. And what you can do is get a free template that I've created just for you. So go to this Get Started button, click here, and you will be able to access this. Now you might be wondering, how do I even use this? How do you say? So click on the remix button, and as soon as you do that, it is going to redirect you to your Adobe Express login page. If you haven't signed in before, don't worry. If you don't have an account, don't worry. You can just create a new account using your Google or just use login using your Adobe ID. So without further ado, I want to say hi to the chat. We have a live chat both on YouTube and Behance, like I said. Hey, Sam, Oliver, Cheryl, Paloma, Jack, thank you so much all for joining me. Let me know if you have any questions as we go through. We have a lot to cover. So let's dive into it. I'm going to showcase how to do this free giveaway template just because I feel like that's something that attracts a lot of audience. So if you're a brand working with social media on Instagram or let's say Twitter, maybe like doing a free giveaway is a good idea for your brand. So have something like templates. Maybe that's something we're going to dive into. So if you've never used Adobe Express before, this is how the homepage looks like. And I love that with this plus button, I have all of these sizing options available for me easily. I'm going to create an Instagram post today. So let me click on that. And this is going to create a canvas or a project for me, which is a 1080 by 1080 size canvas. And what I'm going to do today is implement Creative Cloud libraries within my process. So what that means is that I created a grid template beforehand, and I'm going to use that in my process. So let's go add a background color first. I'm going to select the background, and this is my personal branding that I already added. So maybe I'll just use that color, or perhaps I can change it from the color menu here. So I'm just going to go with a not quite black color. And then I'm going to go to my libraries and let's see what we have. I did create something. So when I talk about libraries, is essentially all the Creative Cloud libraries that are available to you within any Adobe application, right? So I see all my libraries here. This is the library that I want to use. I have some assets in here that are loading. I have the Adobe Express logo. I have some arrow assets and a grid asset. So once you click on this asset, it's going to appear on your canvas here. It's loading right now. You probably can't see it. It's taking a little while to load. I am going to size it up as it loads. And there you go. Voila, that's the asset that I have. Now you might be wondering, why didn't I just use a grid asset within Adobe Express? So you can do that. If you want to do that, I think it's available in design assets. Let's actually look for it. Let's look for grid. Yeah, so here are some grids that you can use. I wanted to use a custom grid, so I decided to go with this option. But if you don't have Illustrator or if you just have an Adobe Express account, you're using a free version, maybe you wanted to use like something like a globe here. So I'm going to use this and you can use this in your template as well. So let's delete that for now. And now I'm going to use something like create something similar as what we created here, like a free giveaway template. So let me show you how I created that. One easy thing to remember is that your text might not be legible here. So what I want to do is add solid shapes on top of this grid. The easiest way to do that is going to the shapes panel here, getting a shape from the panel, which is essentially I can change the sizing. I can click this handlebar, click and drag, hold and drag this out. to change the sizing of it. So I'm going to match this color, go to fill, go to the eyedropper, and select the background color. You don't have to worry about hex codes, right? Because Adobe Express does that for me. I love it. Okay. I'm gonna see if we have any questions in chat. We don't have anything right now, so we are good to go. All right. I want to zoom a little bit. I'm gonna press the zoom to 100%, size it up a little bit more, and maybe align it here. So I'm gonna press Command minus minus on my keyboard because I'm working on a Mac. But if you are working on a Windows device, you can do a Control minus minus. I believe that works. Okay. So this is like some space for my title to go through, and it looks seamless. It's like you're fooling the eye to make it seem that it is empty space, but it's actually just a shape on top. You can see that from the layers panel here that this was my grid and this is the shape that I added. So that's pretty cool. And then maybe we want to add like a call to action, which is always a great strategy. Don't forget call to actions in your posts. So maybe I want to add like something here and something like so. Okay. And now maybe you want to add some shapes to like guide the eye. Think about rule of thirds in your compositions, be it illustration, photography, graphic design, anything you're creating. Layouts, rule of thirds is super important to guide your viewers' eyes. So let's add some arrows. Maybe we'll add some shapes in here. But before we do that, let's add some text. So I'm going to go to the text panel really quickly and adding some text here. Adding some text. Okay. So this is not really legible right now because it's the same color as the background. So maybe I'll go select this guy here just so that we can see what we're typing. And then I'm going to say free giveaway. And now I don't really like this font a lot, maybe because I want something like scripty or like a calligraphic font. A simple way to fix that is going to the Adobe Fonts asset panel in here, which is essentially all the font integration from fonts.adobe.com. So this is essentially where I go to get all my fonts that I can activate within all the Adobe applications. But with Adobe Express, I can just activate them from here. Okay, let me close that tab. I just got confused. I confused myself there for a second. I love it. So I am going to go to more fonts, and here is where it's all categorized, and you can filter it out by selecting any category that you would like to use. I am going to select like maybe I want like a handwritten or a brush pen font, or maybe I want like a marker. So I'm just going to show you how that looks. I already know what font I'm going to use today. But let's see if we have like a school font or like maybe there's a calligraphic. Yeah, there we go. If you wanted something calligraphic, I can just go ahead and select this guy. And we have this really cool black letter calligraphy font in here that you can use in your projects. For today's purposes, I will go and select my favorite font for right now. It's called Coniferous, and this is an Adobe font. The reason that I'm selecting this is that this has multiple font weights in here, which I can use to create consistency in my design. So not just thin, light, regular, medium, bold, and black. It has all of these weights, which just helps me use this one font family in multiple ways in my design to guide my viewers' eyes. So I'm going to use the bold version here, and maybe I'm going to bring it to the center. Now, Adobe Express aligns it to the center, which does half the work for me. So that's that. And maybe I want to extend this to add like, what is the giveaway about, right? I don't know what the giveaway is about. So tell me what the giveaway is about. I need to add more text. So there are two ways that you can do this. You can either click on this text box and create a duplicate, or you can go to the text and go to our assets that we have preloaded into Adobe Express and use those. For my purposes, since this is all custom and according to what I want it to look like on social media, which is on brand for me, and I'm just going to go ahead and duplicate this and change what the text says. So I'm going to say Notion templates, fonts, design tutorials, right? And much more. Let's just say much more. And I'm gonna size that down a little bit, and maybe I want to align it to the left. And I think I want to use like a sans serif font in here. So have the text selected again, go to your more fonts and go to clean. Okay, and then I have all of these templates in here. Maybe I'll just use this guy because I feel like that kind of fits our design. And then I'm going to bring it in here. And now I want this all capitalized, but I typed it in all lowercase. So a quick and easy way to see if that works for your design is going to your text panel in here and selecting the magic layout. Now it does capitalize and fit, so it may not look exactly as you imagined it to look, but it does look something like so. Now this does not look like what I wanted it to look like. So I'm just going to go ahead and capitalize that later. I'm going to leave this be for now. And I can go ahead and add some color in here. So maybe I add this color. I think that's a very color that really pops. So I'm gonna leave that here, and then I'm gonna add some shapes. So let's go add some basic shapes. I'm just probably gonna add this oval shape in here. This is where you can edit your shape. So you can add filters, you can add borders. I'm sorry, filters. No, you can add fills and borders in here. I'm looking at chat, and I'm looking at PJ's question in here, and PJ asks if Express is um does Express all for I'm not sure what you mean, PJ. Would you please elaborate that question and I'll be able to answer that? I'm gonna go ahead meanwhile change the color to the same current color palette, bring that here, and with this button right here, I can rotate it around. So I can do that here. I'm gonna do that really quickly, and then I am gonna copy paste this icon. I'm gonna say join us live, and then say maybe the same color as the background. I'm gonna bring this up, size it down, and then move it around here. And as you can see, this is not visible to me right now because I duplicated the text. It was underneath my shape layer, and that's why it's not visible. What I can do is bring it up top by simply clicking and dragging it on top of the layer. And here we have it. We have that text right over here. So that's something that goes over here now. And maybe I want to add some dates and timings. So maybe I add another text template. I'm just going to duplicate this guy. So click on the duplicate button, bring it up top, change the color, bring it to white and say 19th May. And maybe I bring it here. Maybe I add some effects to it. So let's go to the shape panel and add an effect. So the effect by shape, I mean that I'm just adding a shape around it. So I don't have to add an extra shape behind it. So you can use the inbuilt shapes panel in here, change it to something that like really guides your eye. And you can also change the kind of shape that you have. So go to the shape panel and we have all of these shapes available for you. So let's select this pill shaped icon right here. And then that brings up to this pill shaped text. I love it. So quick and easy. I love using Adobe Express for this reason, just because it like seamless workflow is just mind blowing to me. All right. And the last thing we're going to do is add like an arrow here. So let's go to shapes again. I'm going to go to arrow. All these shapes that you see are available within Adobe Express. So you can use it to all you want, as much as you want. And I'm going to go ahead, change the color for it to be legible. Maybe I rotate it. You can flip it around. There's a flip horizontal. There's a flip upside down. Maybe I'll use this, something like so. Let's rotate that. Yeah, I'm going to do this. I'm going to size that down a little bit and maybe I'll point it to the website. Yeah, here we go. And I think I want to change the colors a little bit. I feel like this is really saturated. I don't want to be as saturated as that. You can easily do that from the colors panel. So here we are, about 13 minutes in, and we're almost done with our template. And this is where you can add the name of your website. I'm going to duplicate that really quickly here as well. So I'm going to say www.express.adobe.com. This is where your website name goes. So I'm going to size that down, bring it up here, and this is where my text goes. Maybe I can size it down a little bit more. But this is what we created in less than 15 minutes. And I want to add some more shapes. So maybe you want to add some design assets. You can go in here. I want to showcase that there are gradients within Adobe Express as well. So if gradients are your thing, you can go in here, select the gradients, add something that you like. Maybe I add this and change the blend mode of it just to add this fun effect. I actually really like this. I didn't even think of this. So let's actually see if that works for our workflow. I'm gonna change it to screen. Ooh, that's interesting. Okay, so have fun with your designs. I only mean to say that have fun with it. Don't stress out. It's just super fun to work with something like this because it's so editable and flexible for your workflow that you can seamlessly do this within a few seconds. I love it. I am looking at a clarification in chat from PJ about their question. So let's read that. Give me 1 second. Okay. It's like a mini script that applies type style. Okay. I understand your question, PJ. Thank you. That's a great question. I feel like right now we don't have any scripts available within Adobe Express just because it is more accessible that way because not everybody knows how to use scripts. And it's just easier that I can do this within a click of a button. I'm going to delete this. I'm going to go back here and show what I mean. So I have the text panel right here, and I can go in here to select all these curved options and the grid options. So just with the click of a button, you can essentially go and change these. So I'm going to create a duplicate of this page just to showcase this from the chat. So I have this text right here. I can go ahead, change it to curved. I can change it to a semicircle as well. I actually quite like this. So if this is something that's your vibe or that is on brand for you, maybe you can use something like this for your template. But for today's purposes, we're going to choose this, and maybe I'll add like a star shape in here as well. So let's go ahead and look for a shape in here. It does say arrow. I don't know if I want an arrow. Maybe I want something like this. This is fun, right? Actually, I'm not too sure if I want that. Let's actually go in here and see if we have any others. I do like this, so maybe we'll add this. Now, this may not be on brand for you. Again, you can go ahead and edit anything you want from the asset panel or the template that I have shared with you. Okay, let's actually give this like another color. I'm trying to find like a color that's gonna be suitable and like have a good contrast with the background. I do not like this at all, but I can fix that later. So let's leave that be. I can just send it to my client, see what they think, if they want to replace it. So essentially, think of remixable templates as enabling your clients and empowering them to create their own social media graphics once you hand over your projects to them. So you've created a brand in Adobe Express. They can apply logos to their projects as watermarks or anything they want to do with their templates and photographs, perhaps, and then use Adobe Express's content scheduler to create that content for their Instagram or Twitter, LinkedIn, Pinterest, wherever they want to post. So creating a remixable template, I think, really is comes in handy. Let's go ahead and create a remixable template now. You wonder how you're going to do that. So I am going to click on the share button on top. Let's say this is what the final asset looks like. I'm going to go hit the share button, and right over here, it says make a template. So click on the make a template button, and you're going to name that. So I'm going to name that template Adobe Express, and you can add a note in here. So here is the final template. You're sending it to a client, and then you just select a library which is existing in Adobe, like your Creative Cloud, or you can create a new library in here as well. I'm trying to select this library. Let's see if that works. It's trying to load my unlimited libraries that I have. Okay, here we go. That's the library that I want to save my template to, and then you click on Save Template. Creating my template in the background, perfect. The one thing that I want you to remember here, that is, if you're using the web app version of Adobe Express, you might be able to use the library in a way that you can create multiple pages in your template, right? So it says, hey, your template was saved to this library. Great pop-up message. I love to see it. And once I click on create from template, it's saying, just a moment, we're creating a project. So what Adobe Express is doing in the background is creating a copy of my template in your Creative Cloud app or your Adobe Express sign in, and you can actually see a copy of that in your account. So it's saying creating your project, it's working on it, and now we're creating a template out of it. If you wanted to see how that looked, you can also create a link for that to send to your clients. So while it is doing that, I'm actually going to go ahead and create a new browser link, open it in a new browser, go to my libraries, and select the library that I selected to create my template in. So this is the library that I have. I click on the library, and here's the template that I just created. It says template right here. And I can go ahead and rename it. I can see the details of it. This is what the template looks like. Or if I wanted, I can just share this library, add some assets to this as well. So since we did have assets to this, I can share this whole library with my client. Or I can go ahead, click share. I can invite them if I have their email address. Or I can actually go in here and create a public link. So not just with my clients, if I just wanted to collaborate with another designer or someone else on my team, I can go in here, enable these two options that say allow save to Creative Cloud and allow follow. Click on the copy link, and I'm going to paste this in the live chat here just so that you can see that it actually works. If you are watching this live or on the replay, you might be able to see it in the chat. So this is the template. And this is how you can easily share this template. So once people click, it's actually taking a while here. So let's actually go ahead and click on create from here. I'm going to show you what that links looking like that I shared with you in chat right now. So this is what it looks like when you click on the link. it showcases whatever exists in this library. I'm going to click on create from, and it's going to create a copy of that project for me. Let's see how that looks like. Okay, here we go. So Adobe Express that does the magic. Here's the template that we just created, and now you can go ahead and change anything you'd like in here. So we have this. I don't really like the color, so maybe I want to make it something like so. And voila, you can change anything you want. You can replace these assets, click on replace. You can use Adobe stock or something from your other libraries in here. You can go ahead, replace a shape from in here. Maybe I want this guy, and that's how you do it. But you might be wondering, I don't use the web app or I don't use the desktop version of Adobe Express. Can I still make templates from Adobe Express? Why? Thank you for asking. Yes, you can. Let me show you how you can use that Adobe Express iOS app to create a template. Let me switch over really quickly to my Adobe Express iOS app and show you how that works. Give me 1 second. Okay, we should be good now. Let's see if we can actually see my screen. All right. So this is my Adobe Express screen on my iOS app. And this is the home page. I can see all my flyers. I can see everything that I have. Maybe I want to create something that I can show you how I just created the template the same way on the web, but in the app. So let me click on this project that I just created. It's opening up. Click on edit, opening up. Adobe Express is loading the fonts. And here you go. On the top right button over here, it says share options. So you can either share it as an image or transparent images. Let's just select the image option for now because I do not care about the background being visible because I actually want it to be visible. If you use transparent, it's going to export a transparent PNG. Let's click on images and select share, and it's preparing the project for me. There are various ways that you can share your images. The first option says save image. That's just going to save it to your camera roll if you're using an iOS device. Then there's shareable template, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, message. You can copy link or even email it to people. So you can do this to create or share your templates. But what I want to do is create it first, right? So click on the shareable template button, and it is preparing my project for me. And that's it. That's how you share the copy link. The link is copied to your clipboard, and now when you paste it in your browser window, it's going to help you look at the remixable template live. So I'm going to do that, switch over to my desktop really quickly and show you how that looks. Give me a second here, and I'm going to go ahead and paste this link here. So this is what it looks like. This is the one that I created from my phone. Now you might be wondering, how do I figure out if that's the same link? Are you fooling us? No, I'm not. Because the one that I shared earlier had a link which said libraries in it. And this is just a link that I can access from my phone application. So I have iOS app. I open this on my phone in my browser, and it works the same way. You click on remix this design. Let me actually do that on my phone really quickly. Give me a second. I'm going to paste this on my phone and show you. So sorry about that, folks. Let me bring my phone back. I'm going to click on this. All right. Okay, you should be able to see my phone screen now. There we go. All right. So this is it in a browser. I just pasted this link in my browser and it says remix this design. It's the same template that I created using the iOS app. If you've never used the app before, the open button will look like download this app because that's how you use the app. You download it first from the App Store and then you will be able to remix the design. I click on remix here. It says open in Adobe Express. Click on open. And now it says remix this template. So I click on remix this template. And here we can change anything in here just like we did from the web app. So I click on the free giveaway button. Maybe I want to change the color. So I'm going to click on this color. Maybe I want this to be the color, or maybe I want, perhaps this is the color I want. And then I click on done. Maybe I want to change the color of this as well. So I'm going to go to fill. Maybe I change it to this, right? So not really the end design that I wanted, but I just wanted to showcase how you can do it and keep it editable all throughout with your remixable templates. And don't worry if you've forgotten about it, you can just go back to the link and remix it again. So I've edited this and I did not create a copy of the page that I had initially. So what you can do is go back to your page browser link and then click on remix this design again, click on open, and it's going to create another copy for you. So in that few simple steps, you see that it's showing me that I've remixed it one time by this uh pointer here that says one remixes. If I click on remix this template again, that was the original thing. So voila, that is an easy way to create your own remixable template to grow your audience. Or if you're working with multiple clients and you want to send them and empower them to create your own designs for social media, this is how you can create remixable templates using Adobe Express. Thank you so much for watching today and all throughout this week for the Adobe Express Bootcamp. I appreciate you all joining. If you have any questions right now that I missed, maybe make sure to leave those in the comments below on our YouTube channel. We are live every single day here on Adobe Live. And thank you so much for joining me. I will see you next time and make sure to go to the links and have all the fun that you want. Thanks for joining me, and I hope you have a great day. Bye for now.